There's Parting, 15-11 in Pro League, a pretty solid stat. Currently undefeated. His last win against Terror, holding off a Zergling all-in, a Speedling all-in quite well with just really nice reaction time, good force fields, and Parting is so solid at defending against Zerg all-ins. Well, he's playing a totally different matchup here against YongHwa, one of our Toast's favorite players. Very defensive player. But in PvP, unlike Creator, this is the guy who will occasionally throw in a Blink Stalker all-in. He will occasionally throw in a DT build or go Phoenixes against you. He's not just going to Sentry expand every single game like Creator Prime does.
He's all around less, readable, less predictable. You can throw him out there and trust him to sometimes, maybe throw in an all-in. I know Creator in the first match we had, he did do 2 all-ins, including that ace match. But YongHwa overall has more tools to his kit, I would say.
Yeah, he's definitely somebody that's a lot harder to read, a lot harder to prepare for. So keep that in mind as we go to our very first match in SK Telecom T1. An incredible miracle parting against YongHwa.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Down here in the bottom right, the red Protoss representing SK Telecom T1, we have Parting.
Parting, a solid Protoss player, playing against the Protoss player whose monitor was not as solid. Spawning to the top of the map from IM, it's YongHwa, named his ID after his Korean name. And this is going to be really interesting. Just from the start, we have our only Protoss versus Protoss of the matchup. The rest of our games today will be PVZs. Probably also the ace match, I would expect, will be a PVZ. Just statistically speaking, with the way that these players have been picked, I think it would be a likelihood of...
Well, I mean, neither of these teams has fielded a Terran just yet, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a PvP, or even a PvP, not a PVZ, or maybe a PvP in that ace match. And, it just wouldn't be surprising, especially just seeing the lineups we've seen so far.
Well, this map is a map where we've seen a lot of expansions. This is a map where it's great to expand because proxy play for your oracles, for example, is predictable. It's easy to scout. Not something that you're going to see the highest level players usually go for, especially not these two players. I just don't think the likelihood of that is I mean, I would even say it's probably less than 20% chance to see any sort of proxy oracle play in this game. Blink Stalker play is something that we might see on this map. It's a good map for that. The natural is really wide open, so you can do a lot with your Blink Stalker. You've got a lot of room to move around. You can also blink in the main base later on for harassment. It's a good map for that.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Blink Stalker play these days, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it as well.
Parting just let out a sigh I saw on the back, or on the camera there. So I thought actually maybe he was a little bit stressed, or he's trying to relax himself there. And normally Parting, not somebody known to get nervous or stressed out. He's one of the most confident players we have in StarCraft 2.
Or at least he shows himself that way. Maybe in his mind he is going up in the first match here against possibly the best team that he could face besides them. And he's like, okay, I got to win this for my team. It is a PvP, one of the less forgiving mirror matchups we have here.
That's definitely true. It's also, when you're on a current streak like Parting is, you want to keep that going as much as possible on a personal level. If you lose the game, it's like, well, I no longer am a perfect, flawless player in Pro League. I lost that. As you can see, we have a double gateway build coming out from YongHwa, who also adds a Twilight Council. There's the Stargate. Not proxied as expected. Just not a good map for proxying your Stargate. Coming out for Parting, and he actually does not check the back of the base.
I mean, he only saw 2 pylons up there. He's got to know there's another pylon there, but he didn't check the back of the base. Maybe he's going to go around and scout for proxies, but he's not going to find much.
No, he's not. Well, I guess that this is a little bit unfortunate. If he goes Dark Shrine, though, it could work out really well for him. And it looks like he wants to. He's got the resources now. There it is. So we're going to see YongHwa go for DTs here. And for Parting, depending on how he uses his Oracle, this could be easily defended. but it could also be a disaster if he doesn't react quickly enough and he uses all of his energy with his first Oracle, or for example, if he only makes one, then it's on the other side of the map. When DTs hit him, he could be in trouble.
It's all about how he uses his oracles, like you said. He's going to come in there. If he goes right to the mineral line and he scouts it, it could be too late. You know, that Dark Shrine is already coming up right now. This is almost halfway done. He might not even get there over in there in time, and he's got to have a second one coming out if he wants that. But he is starting a Nexus right now.
Nexus and a Sentry, no Robo, so very risky play here by Parting. And he does not actually see the pylon that is right outside of his doorstep. If the Sentry is not looking right away, then he's going to miss this. Okay, when he gets in here, as soon as he sees that Dark Shrine, he has to position the Sentry on the ramp and be watching it. He's probably just going to fly his Oracle straight home. There's the robotics. He needs to be watching the Sentry with hawk eyes to make sure no DTs get in the main base. He absolutely cannot allow it.
And he's flying over. The Photon Overcharge goes down. He does see the Dark Shrine. These two Stalkers giving chase. They're not going to do much damage, and he sees it right away. He's got to respond to this.
I even saw on the minimap the second he saw it, he moved his Stalker and his Sentry into hold position in the way. There's no way this DT is going to get into the main base. And there's the force field instantly. He just needs to buy a little bit more time. He needs another Warpin of a Sentry if he could. That would be great. He has enough energy for the reveal on that Oracle, so I don't think this is going to be doing anything here.
Yeah, he's going to follow this DT around with this reveal on the Oracle, and that's not going to give YongHwa much opportunity to use that guy. He's also getting that Observer out, and now he's just going to fly this Oracle away now that he has deterred the DTs. Still does not know about that pylon. He does have his Nexus up way before YongHwa, so that's good for him.
That could be a problem later on, just because the positioning is so perfect by YongHwa. Look on YongHwa's face is a look of frustration and disgust, and he knows that the position he is in this game is so far behind. His Nexus is late, his tech is late. He's trying to get Blink right now, which is going to give him a little bit of mobility, but I don't really see it being a game changer for him most likely. And now his pylon is even scouted.
Yeah, the pylon is scouted. The Oracle coming back in there. It does have 5 kills right now, so that's something to note, doing a bit of damage to YongHwa's economy. We see even the supply tab. We have 55 to 37, 39 now of YongHwa. He's trying to get that Blink as well and trying to get that second Nexus up, and it's affecting the supply. He's not getting as many units as Parting just has out right now.
I really would like to see a cannon in the mineral line. This is something that may come back to bite him, as this first DT being dropped off in the main base could definitely rack up some kills. There's no Observer nearby. He's got that Forge, but he's got to pull his probes away here. Reacts basically instantly, losing 2, almost 3. The Observer is on the way back over here, and he's now just going to run away. Or he should.
He should run away, but this War Prism has to get the Dark Templar out. He is going to get him away in time.
Nice little harassment there. Meanwhile, the Oracle looks like it's just going to ignore these Stalkers and target down as many probes as possible. Definitely worth it. The Oracle loses its efficiency the longer the game goes on, because more and more Stalkers come up, more defensive structures go up, so a little bit tougher to do damage with that. So I like his choice to just waste that, or not waste it, but get the most out of it as he can before it goes down.
Yeah, was able to go in there and get, I think, 4 or 5 more probe kills, so just adding more advantages that he already has. He is getting that +1 as well as a bunch of Immortals and his own Templar Twilight Council up at the same time, whereas YongHwa just finished Blink, adding that Robo Bay.
Yeah, getting the Robo Bay and Blink. Also, just consider that his probe count is so low compared to Parting's. Parting has both of his gases mining, something that YongHwa does not have. He doesn't even have his assimilator started. If he did, that'd be 150 less minerals he has in total, plus 6 probes less mining minerals than he already has. So he just can't afford it. That's why he's not mining that gas just yet. He needs a little bit more time. The +1 is already done for Parting. Parting is ahead in every way right now in this game. He's even getting the charge upgrade. The one thing that he's missing, quote-unquote, is Colossus tech, but he doesn't really need it right now.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's even going towards that right now, adding that Templar Archives and getting that charge like you mentioned. Probably just going to go for that Charge the Archon composition just at first.
When you're behind, like YongHwa is, sometimes going for Colossi is the right choice. This little Blink Stalker push not going to get anything done. See what I mean about researching Blink in the mid-game? Once the Immortals are out, it's just so hard to get anything done.
Yeah, I mean, he was able to poke in there and see the composition, but that's basically about it. Those Immortals saying no, using their 2 big arms to just shove those guys away.
Yeah, I think the idea we saw on the minimap just for a moment, the Warp Prism came back out of the base. I think the idea there was, okay, I'm going to distract him at the natural, then fly in with my Warp Prism. Then he sees the cannons, at the main base, and he's like, well, this just isn't happening. There's no way I'm going to be able to do anything to those cannons. Look at Parting's economy. It's out of control. He stops probe production because he doesn't need any more probes on 2 bases. That's 4 gateways, additional cannons, getting +2, getting the charge. He's got a solid defense in his main base. Doesn't have to worry about those DTs anymore. And I think with this Warp Prism being queued up right now, he's saying, I think I'm going to attack right now and see what I can get done.
Yeah, it's going to hit right when he has a bunch of Archons as well as that charge, and 5 Immortals right now for the very Stalker-heavy army of Parting. This is going to be so hard to deal with. Even with the Chargelets running after these Blink Stalkers, the Stalkers are going to try to come in and do a bit of poking, but it's going to be so hard, like you said, to just come in here with this Blink in the mid-game. It's not going to do much. You even see he's taking a bit of damage because there's so many Immortals getting that initial shot off when he comes in.
Yeah, the Immortals don't fire projectiles. Their damage is done instantaneously. It's almost like a ranged melee attack. As soon as the animation is triggered, the damage is being done. There's no escaping it. So it's so difficult to blink micro against Immortals. The only way you can really blink micro against them is to try to jump on top of them and target them down. But with that many, it's not going to work out. I like this a lot, though. He's trying to force a cancel on this third base, something that Parting probably does not have to do. But it does keep Parting back. Parting would ideally like to be pressuring the third base of YongHwa right now while he takes his own third.
Yeah, he was able to stave that off. He did just finish his +2, whereas looking at YongHwa's upgrades right now, he's just struggling to get that +1 out. He's at least getting a bunch of Colossi. That's the only thing, like you said before, is the Colossus tech that he does have over Parting. But just look at this army. It is so strong with all those Immortals and Archons and Charge Lots. It's going to be so hard to deal with. He's even continuing to send Zealots over here at the third, trying to harass. YongHwa thankfully ready for that.
Yeah, this is a sexy Templar on the Warp Prism. I'll tell you guys right now what that's for is to fly in and feed back the Mothership Core. And if he's lucky, maybe some sentries. Here he goes. He's on the mission. Mission successful. Boom. Goodbye, Mothership Core. Even saves the Templar for now. And this means no time warps on his Zealot heavy army. And I think YongHwa's going to get crushed here. He has no time warps to use, and he also doesn't have the ability to use Mothership Core for overcharge. And once those Immortals close the gap on those Colossi, they're going to fall almost instantaneously. There's the Warp Prism for more reinforcements as well. And Parting is just slapping him like a salmon out of the water here. Yeah,
Parting having double time warps there. There was just nothing YongHwa's split-up army could do against this with no Mothership Core, like you mentioned. No Photon Overcharge. This is going to down. Parting's going to try to build a Nexus in here.
Yeah, Manor Nexus being queued up. I don't think it's going to happen because probably YongHwa is going to leave the game before he gets the opportunity. But really, really nice play here by Parting. Safe play, nice defensive play against those DTs. Good reactions, good turnaround there with the Oracle. There's the GG. And Parting remains undefeated this season. And I love Parting, the way he wins his games. You can tell he's like really, really focused in the game that he just won. And then when he comes out, he just wants to celebrate.
Yeah, we're going to have to see what he does here.
What is he going to do? Any gestures? He high-fives everybody, and the gesture we see is... Oh, don't take your pants off, Parting. That's really weird.
He's looking for something.
Oh, okay, he just pulled a thumbs up out of his pocket.
Giving a thumbs up
That's
to
a new one.
Who... kind of did just get slapped around, like you said before. Not really much of a defense there against what Parting had to offer him.
The thing is, against that composition, you need a gateway wall, probably, or you need time warps to slow the Zealots down and a perfect position with your Colossi. With the Warp Prism coming forward, I don't think YongHwa knew exactly what he was up against. He also... With full energy on the Mothership Core, the feedback will actually kill the Mothership Core instantly, so he had no ability to micro or reorient himself there. He must have started to realize what was happening, but it was just too late. The Mothership